Have you ever noticed this? The loudest person in the room usually isn't the strongest one. It's often the quiet one, the one who listens more than they talk, the one who doesn't post every win online, the one who looks calm, even when life is throwing chairs. That right there, that's silent strength. And today, we're breaking down the psychology behind it, why it works, why it scares people, and why the strongest people you know rarely announce themselves. Let's start with something simple. Imagine two people at the gym. One is yelling, grunting, slamming weights, making sure everyone knows how heavy that barbell is. The other, headphones on. No drama, no mirror selfies. Just lift, breathe, repeat. Now here's the twist. When things go wrong, when pressure hits, when life gets heavy, guess who usually holds it together? Yep, the quiet one. Silent strength isn't about being shy. It's not about being weak. It's about control, and the human brain loves control. Psychologically, when someone stays calm without announcing it, our brain reads it as confidence. Not the loud kind, the dangerous kind, because loud strength says, "Look at me, believe me." Silent strength says, "I don't need you to." And that hits different. Here's the funny part. Most people think strength looks like talking back, proving points, winning arguments, and posting screenshots. But real strength? Real strength often looks boring. It looks like staying quiet when you could destroy someone with words, but choose not to. It looks like walking away, not because you lost, but because you know your peace is more expensive than being right. And your brain understands this instinctively. There's a psychological concept called emotional regulation. Simple meaning, the ability to manage your emotions instead of letting them manage you. People with silent strength usually have high emotional regulation. They feel anger. They feel fear. They feel hurt. They just don't let those feelings drive the car. Most people, they let emotions grab the steering wheel, honk the horn, and crash into everything. Silent strength says, "Yeah, I feel this, but I'm still in control." And control is power. Let's talk about why silence makes people uncomfortable. Ever been in an argument where you expect the other person to explode, but they just go quiet? No yelling, no insults, no long explanations. Just calm silence. Suddenly you feel awkward. Your brain starts filling in the gaps. Are they judging me? Are they plotting something? Did I go too far? Silence forces people to face themselves. That's why it's powerful. Psychologically, humans hate uncertainty, and silence creates uncertainty. A loud reaction is predictable. Silence is not. That's why the calm person often controls the room without saying a word. Now let's be real. Silent strength doesn't mean never speaking up. It means choosing when to speak. Think about the people you respect the most. They're not talking all the time. But when they do, everyone listens. Why? Because their words aren't cheap. When someone talks nonstop, your brain starts filtering them out. But when someone speaks rarely, your brain goes, "Oh, this must matter." It's like notifications. If your phone buzzes every 2 seconds, you ignore it. But if it stays silent all day and suddenly buzzes, you check immediately. Silent strength works the same way. Let's add a little humor here. We all know that one person who says, "I hate drama." But somehow, drama follows them like a stray cat. That's not silent strength. Silent strength is the person who actually avoids drama. Not by announcing it, but by not engaging. They don't reply instantly. They don't argue online. They don't explain themselves to people who already decided to misunderstand them. And psychologically, this saves massive mental energy. The brain has limited fuel. Every argument, every over-explanation, every emotional outburst drains it. Silent strength is efficient. It says, "I'm not wasting my energy on things that don't move my life forward. Now let's talk about pain, because silent strength usually comes from pain, not the kind that makes noise, the kind that teaches. People who've been through real stuff, loss, failure, rejection, pressure, often stop talking about it, not because it didn't hurt, but because they learned something deeper. They learned that not everyone deserves access to their inner world. Psychologically, this is called boundary awareness. Strong people have clear boundaries. They don't overshare. They don't seek validation. They don't need constant reassurance. They trust themselves. And trust is quiet. Insecure people are loud. Secure people are calm. Let that sink in. Ever notice how the most confident person in the room doesn't need to dominate the conversation? They're comfortable with silence, because silence doesn't threaten them. Now here's where curiosity kicks in. If silent strength is so powerful, why don't more people use it? Because it's uncomfortable. Silence forces patience. Patience forces self-control. Self-control forces self-awareness. And self-awareness is hard. It's easier to react than to respond. Easier to shout than to think. Easier to post than to process. Silent strength requires discipline. And discipline is invisible. No applause. No instant feedback. No likes. Just inner stability. And your brain loves shortcuts, not discipline. But here's the reward. People with silent strength often win long term. They're trusted more, respected more, taken seriously. Not because they demanded it, but because they embodied it. Think of a storm. A weak tree shakes, makes noise, and sometimes breaks. A strong tree, it stands still, roots deep. No announcement. Silent strength is rooted. Now let's flip the perspective. Silent strength isn't about being emotionless. It's about processing internally before reacting externally. These people cry in private, think deeply, reflect. They don't suppress emotions. They manage them. That's a big difference. Suppression is pretending you're fine. Strength is knowing you're not, and still functioning. And that's powerful. Here's a simple real-life example. Two people get criticized. Person A immediately defends themselves, explains everything, blames circumstances. Person B listens, pauses, says, "Okay, I'll work on that." Who looks stronger? Exactly, because silence shows confidence and growth. Psychologically, when you don't rush to defend yourself, it signals that your identity isn't fragile. You're not threatened by feedback. And fragile identities are loud. Strong identities are calm. Let's talk about attraction. Because yes, this applies there too. Silent strength is attractive. Not loud confidence. Not flashy energy, but grounded calm. People are drawn to those who seem unshaken. Because calm feels safe. The brain is wired to seek safety. Someone who can stay composed under pressure sends a signal. This person can handle life. That's why leaders often speak less. Why mentors listen more. Why powerful people don't rush. They move with intention. They don't react. They respond. And response always beats reaction. Now here's the part most people miss. Silent strength isn't about being silent all the time. It's about speaking with purpose. When you talk less, you listen more. When you listen more, you understand more. When you understand more, you act better. It's a cycle, and that cycle builds wisdom. So if you've ever felt like your quiet nature is a weakness, it's not. If you don't feel the need to explain yourself to everyone, that's not arrogance. That's clarity. If you stay calm while others panic, that's not indifference. That's strength. The world is loud. Opinions are loud. Egos are loud. Silent strength doesn't compete with noise. It outlasts it, because noise fades. Calm remains. And here's the final truth. The strongest people you'll ever meet won't tell you how strong they are. You'll see it in how they stay steady, how they choose peace, how they don't react to every spark. Silent strength isn't about being invisible. It's about being unshakable. And once you understand that, you stop trying to prove yourself. You just become yourself. Quietly, confidently, powerfully. And that is real strength.